Alright, let me clear my filters out here so we can go over a couple of things. I notice a lot of you guys like to call up and click on certain people's tanks when they're not in the position that you think they are, or you think they should be. Sometimes it's a legitimate bitch, I'll give you this. Other times it's not a legitimate thing and you need to lay off because you don't understand what you're asking. Anytime you have a tank that's 2 tiers down in a battle and has less than 200 millimeters of frontal armor, you need to quit bitching at him and telling him to get up in the front, because he's just going to be incinerated. A tier 6 tank in a tier 8 battle with very little armor is not going to survive against a tier 8 gun. A lot of tier 8s have tier 9 guns, so it's not going to haul off and help much. A higher caliber weaponry is going to haul off and make mincemeat out of his armor. He's not going to be able to help you at all. He's not going to be able to do anything. But anyhow, you'll notice we have between tier 5 and tier 10, 378 tanks to choose from. Now, this is Chaffee. Chaffee is a spotting tank. It can pull up and set and spot. It can haul off and passively spot that way. Or it can haul off and run around and spot, but then it's going to drop its targets a lot quicker. So if RD ain't on point, or the TDs aren't on point, they're not going to be able to haul off and take out those targets he lights up. Also, if he doesn't have any reinforcing heavies or mediums with him, they're not going to be able to take advantage of the spotting that he does. So there's a problem. The spotter can't outrun its support shooters. A lot of you don't understand that. We have a T-21, which makes a good spotty tank again. We have a Lycan, which makes an excellent spotty tank, and a halfway decent assault tank until your clip's empty, and then you're just a rolling target. We have the Brazil and the Bulldog. They're fairly nice at spotting, and they're fairly quick. We have the Falcon also. The T-49, which is a good run and gunner. The Sheridan, which is a decent run and gunner with a long reload and with a big round. Now we're down to the Ripper tank. Alright, ladies and gentlemen. At tier 5, the Ripper can be a frontline fighter, and it can hold its own. But its armor is still weak. Although it's got a good slope, wargaming on console doesn't work like wargaming on PC. So that slope isn't going to help as much. I want to warn you now. The Ram 2. Believe it or not, this little tiny thing usually gets ignored on the battlefield by tier 7 tanks. I personally have used this tank to rip apart a T-29 from start to finish all by my little old lonesome and kill it. At which point the game hauls off and says impressive kill. Only because he didn't view me as a threat, because I was doing so little damage until he realized that it was racking up. Until when he finally figured that out, he was already dead. So no good there, but taking a hit at tier 5, it can take a decent hit. Tier 6, not so much. Tier 7, tier 7 guns tend to incinerate it kind of quickly. E4. Oh dear God, where do I begin with this thing? Let's just say junk and move on. It's got a nice gun. Armor is really, really bad. M4, bad armor. E2, halfway decent armor. Most people can use it and survive at its tier. A tier 8 tank, though, will cut through this thing like a hot knife through melted butter. Fury tank, same problem. Good gun, but again, heavy tanks at tier 8 will slice through it. Thunderbolt, same problem. T-23 E3, tier 7. Can be used as a spotter. Decent speed, but you're not going to outrun or outmaneuver anything. Light tanks will rip you up with their autoloaders pretty quick. And the gun's not very good. It can hit a target, it can blow a target up, but okay, we have the Freedom and the 26 E4. These aren't bad tanks. It has triple frontal armor. Okay, it has a couple of weak spots from the front, You can pin it. It's difficult, but you have to aim to hit it. You can't use the auto aims. You have to choose your targets when you're nose to nose with this thing, or you're not going to punch through it too much. Tier 10 tanks, they'll cut through it. If you want to see what I'm talking about here, I'll show you. If I can hit the right button, I'll show you. Most people already know this, but you'll see that blue plate in the front. Let's go over here and scale down. You've got a yellow plate under the gun. You got 114 on the mantlet behind the shield. You got another 121 right there. Alright, then you got a 91 millimeter shield plate. So shooting toward that mantlet right there is not going to help nothing. Side plate, there's your armor on the base hull and the turret on the sides. So you can already see where you're going to hit this thing at. Sides and rear seem to be better. Alright. There's a front plate. There's dual front plates. If you look on the top glacis, you have two plates there, upper and lower. They are both 38 millimeters thick. So you're looking at 76 millimeters of armor right there. Where's the third plate at? Did they take the third plate out? They might have. No. They didn't take the third plate out. They couldn't have. Let's look again. Let's take a glance here. Let's find and see if they took out the third plate. Nope, it's there. There's the third plate. 101 millimeters of armor plus another 106. $116. Is that right? 116. Let's check that number again. 38 and 38. Yeah, 136. So 136 plus 101. So triple plated front armor on the top glacis. Now you'll notice the one hitbox it had is not showing, and the two round pieces on the top of the tank were a hitbox. You can't see them here. I don't know if they're still a hitbox or not. You see those two round circles right there above the gun on the left? That was your hitbox. You could actually take it out by hitting it there. I don't know if that's still possible or not. Seems it didn't show up on the armor anymore. It used to. Okay, it might not be a hitbox anymore. Don't know. We'll have to figure that out in battle. It is a slow tank. It doesn't have a lot of speed, doesn't climb fast. Strong frontal armor. As long as you keep everything from your sides and your rear, it works. Same with the 26E4, it's the same tank. T95E2 has been modified to where it is now like the Swedish tanks. It has the ability to raise and lower itself with hydraulics for better gun depression, I guess. I don't know. This is your Green Army Man tank. If you ever bought a bag of Green Army Man as a kid, this is the tank that was in it. Well, by the way, it does have decent firepower, and it is a decent tank. But it's not a main assault tank. It's a supporting tank when it gets above its tier. Vengeance runs around. It's pretty good. It's got a halfway decent gun. Blah, blah, blah. Same thing as the other one I did back, like the 23E3. Same tank, basically. Similar in capability. Let's put it that way. 46 KR. It's got its strong points, it's got its weak points. Gun can do damage at tier, gets weaker against higher tiers just like everything else. 25 Pilot 1 is the same thing as the Vengeance tank. Stone Cold. It is another T25. It's a T95E2 tank. But this one has either a dual loader or a single loader, depending on which package you put on it. Either way, it's almost the same reload speed, so you may as well fire the double shot than the single. It's a decent tank, but its armor is weak. Tier 10s, as you just saw, kind of chew through it pretty good. Here's a 95 E6. It's a slightly different turret, sloped cheeks. Again, wargaming sloped armor. It doesn't seem to work on console like it does on PC, so it's not a bad little tank. I like it. T1 Heavy, a tall target to put on the battlefield. Weak sides, weak cheeks, good at its tier, bad higher tiers. T14, an excellently armored American tank with very low punch power. Armor holds up pretty good against its own tier. Starts giving out when you get to bigger tiers. Pardon my language. Sorry about that. M6, it's a T1 on steroids. Weak side armor. Minuteman, an extra heavily armored T29 tank. However, it has the same engine as the T29, and the extra armor weight wasn't compensated for. So it is slower. Very, very slower. However, it has decent accuracy, it has excellent firepower, and can usually punch through tier 9 tanks, depending on where you hit them at and how much armor they have. T29, very weak lower front plate, weak side plates, weak back turret, weak side turret. Decent gun, more speed than the Minuteman. Same in every other respect as the Minuteman, only quicker with an engine. Because its armor's lighter. Just remember the armor's lighter. T32, very squishy hull unless they repaired it. 32 has always had a weak hull. This tank is made to be hull down, which meant you need to block the front of the tank with something to keep it from getting blown the heck up, so that they only bounce off your turret as a target. Otherwise, it's going to die a lot quicker. Oh, this one. Good front armor, nice slope. Side armor, rear armor sucks. Gun's decent. Has a lot of weak points. Again, wargaming sloped armor doesn't work the same in console. T34, another hull down tank made to stand off away from targets. Block the front end because the lower hull is going to get penetrated. Turn armor is super good. But if they can get your body, you're going to die. Same with the 34 Black. Captured King Tiger. Not made for waiting in the middle of battle. No armor. Made to stand off and shoot at a distance. These tanks were designed in real life to outdistance enemy gunfire. They could shoot and hit their targets before the enemy could get them in range. That's what they were used for. That's what their design was. That's what they're made to do. They're made to stand away and snipe. Don't bitch at a Tiger II, a captured King Tiger, or a King Tiger tank that is standing back sniping, because that's how they're meant to be used. Patriot tank. Personally, I think it sucks, but you know, it's got a decent gun. That's all I'm going to give it. Chrysler, good frontal armor. If you're confronted with a Chrysler, I'd highly recommend tracking it and driving around it and shooting it in the side and the butt. Got a good gun on it too. Boghar, excellent frontal armor. Again, track it, go around it, shoot it from the sides and rear. 32 Alpha prototype, autoloader. Another tank that has to go hull down. It also has to shoot from a distance. It is not a main battle tank. It is not designed to wait in the middle of battle. It does not weather hits well. Its frontal armor sucks. It can be penetrated by everything. And if you don't believe me, we actually tested some of this out. I have some tier 10 tanks. We blew holes in the front armor with tier 2s. So, M103, very decent tank. Good armor. Doesn't hold up to side shots well. Can be a main battle tank, can wade into battle, can weather the fight decently. 110E5, good gun, good turret, problematic armor, side armor weak, rear armor weak. T57 Heavy, it seems to hold up good against frontal armor, frontal hits. So I'd guess that I haven't used it a lot. I've used it a bit. It seems to get hit really nice and develop holes, but you survive 3 or 4 shots. Wolverine, good gun, no armor. You can see, but it's a tank destroyer. It's not supposed to be a main battle tank and wait in the middle of the fight. It can make a run on things and try to hit them and help out. Hellcat, again, stand off, you're a TD. Jackson, stand off, you're a TD. Hellcat, stand off, you're a TD. 78, stand off, you're a TD. Scorpion, stand back and shoot. 28 HTC can actually haul up and wait in and take a few hits, except by now everybody knows where to hit it to kill it. Most of the TDs, those are standoff tanks. They don't have a lot of armor. The 30, on the other hand, usually can weather a couple of hits. 110E4 can take a few hits. Arties, we're not going to cover those. Snake bite, no armor, keep moving, don't stop. Be a spotter. Becky Lynch, run and gun, be a spotter. Matilda BP, rapid fire, decent armor, at its tier. In a higher tier match, it gets crushed. Very low ammo count, rapid fire burns it up fast. Frostbite, junk tank, Sherman. Defiance, Matilda base. Can hold up to a few hits, not a lot, good fire rate. Cromwell, run and gun. Knight, run and gun. Firefly, ugh. Stand off and shoot. You're not made to be a main tank, even at your own tier. Same with the Boilermaker. You got a 17-pounder for a reason. It's to shoot from distance. Sentinel tank. I'm not even going to do it. Cromwell B, run and gun. Banshee, run and gun and spot. Jackal, standoff tank. Centennial, good armor, decent, can haul up and wait a little bit. At its tier. Can sometimes lock up nose to nose with some tier 10s and hold its own for a few minutes. Centurion, good gun, bad armor. Huntsman's the same tank. Chieftain T95. Side armor sucks, front armor is weak. 4202P, main battle tank. Can take a couple hits, but not a lot. Atomic, same deal. Inferno, don't know, don't use a lot. Haven't figured out use for it yet. Haven't figured out what it's good at or not good at, other than looking pretty. Centurion 7-1, decent main battle tank, can wait a little bit. Gonna damage fast, she's only a medium, so. Centurion Axe, again, only a medium, can wait a little bit, but you have major weak points all around the tank. FV4202, same thing. Churchill 1, decent at its tier, outclassed at higher tiers. Sometimes can't penetrate enemy armor, other times it can. But it's got glaring weak spots all the way around, because look at all those flat plates that you can shoot through. There are a lot of them. Excelsior, same problem. Good at its tier, a lot of flat plates to shoot through though. TOG 2. Most people despise the TOG 2, they hate it. However, the TOG 2 moves slow enough that it does not need a gun stabilizer. It's so slow when it's moving that it can hit its target accurately. And it's got a 17-pounder on the cannon. So armor is weak everywhere on the TOG. Top armor is completely trash. I think it's only like maybe 20 millimeters thick. Artillery loves it. They can blow them up left and right. Churchill 7. More heavily armored variant of the Churchill, but still lots of flat plates, lots of targets you can punch through. Just take a look at it. You can see them. There's tons of flat area. Even that machine gun port right by the gun barrel in the mantlet. Junk move. Bulldog, same thing. Black Prince, same thing again. 201 Black. I found it to mainly be useless. I only keep it because it's fun to run it every once in a blue moon. Carnarvon. Oh, dear God, where do we begin with this thing? It's halfway decent, but yet it has glaring weak spots. All you got to do is play around to find them. The Paladin was not bad, seeing as it got extra armor on its turret and its weak points. So its cheeks are double thick. It can take a heat round blast now, where it wouldn't have been able to without it. Conqueror, not bad. Cheek plates are good. You've got it fully upgraded. Still got some glaring weak spots. Oh, yes. I get killed in this thing a lot. However, I love driving it. It has tons of glaring weak points. Got a good gun, though. And if properly used and maneuvered, you can take out 2 or 3 tanks in a battle. Chieftain. Same thing. Good main tank. Can wait a little bit. But, as always, there are some weak spots. Super Conqueror. Super Conquerors on the enemy team are kind of hard to penetrate, but when you're driving one, it seems like everything cuts through you. So either they know more about where to hit it than I do, or I just don't know how to angle the tank and keep it from penetrating and bouncing it. AT2, good frontal armor, bad side and rear armor. Get behind it, you got it. Excalibur, same thing. Track it, get behind it, you got it. Again, we're in the TDs, they're all the same, always. You track them and get beside them or behind them, you got them beat. Leopard, kill this tank if you see it, on sight, wipe it out, get rid of it, do something quick. Spa Panzer 1C, yeah. Most people don't realize that if you get it on a weird angle, it's got a slope on its sides. And if it can amplify that slope, you're going to bounce, and you're not going to damage it. Awful Panther. Ugh. I've sold this tank 7 times. I now have it because it keeps offering it to me as a package, free, special deal, whatever. I just don't equip it with anything. Spot's good, disgusted by everything else. Hellhound, it's a Walker Bulldog. It's a spotting tank. Hawk 12, spotter. M4190, spotter. Aguila, spotter. Rheinmetall Panzerwagen, spotter. T29, yeah, you can blow this up easy. Panzer 4H, you can blow it up easy, but beware, it has a derpy gun. Same with the Cup. Panzer 4 Hydro, at its tier, it fights pretty good. Panzer 5-4, or as we call it, the Ram Panzer. Its gun does not do a lot of damage. That's why it runs into a lot of things. It also runs into a lot of things because of the fact that its steering sucks. It can't turn well. So that's going to be its glaring weak point. You can get past it and won't be able to spin on you. 3-4. Another Panther 4. 3K. This is a sniping tank. It is not made to you haul off and try to get in the middle of battle. It will not hold up. Its armor will not last. This is an armored tank. You can wait with it at tier. This is not an armored tank. This is a support tank or a flanker. This is a support tank or a flanker. It is not made to be in the main part of the battle. This is a Panther. Again, not made to be in the part of the battle. It's right up front. It's made to be a support tank. This was supposed to be a tank destroyer, but yeah. Crass Panther, again, support tank and flanker, although it isn't got the speed for it. Champion, same as the M10. Support tank and flanker, support tank and flanker, support tank, flanker, and sniper. Run and gun. Run and gun. Run and gun. Not a main tank though, support tank. Run and gun. Run and gun and a little bit of main tank. Run and gun and a little bit of main tank, mostly made for support. Main tank, but only a medium. You want to support heavy tanks with it. Main tank. Main tank. Main tank and support tank. Main tank. Standoff tank. Standoff, slightly main tank at its tier. Shoot from a distance, sniper. Main tank. Sniper tank coming up. Sniper tank again. Sniper tank again. All the Tigers are sniper tanks. They aren't made to wade into nothing. These Adlers are made to shoot from distance. The longer the general rule of thumb is, the longer the barrel you got, the more you're supposed to be shooting from further away. That's why you have longer barrel. For example, let's take a look at this one. Yep, that's a pretty damn long barrel. Tiger 2, made to snipe. The Luva, as it's correctly pronounced. But anyhow, you can guess what to do with this thing. Alright, main tank, heavy armor, good gun. Low, not much per gun depression though. King Tiger, sniper. Brecker, main wading tank. Luva again. E75, main and snipe. 4502 Bravo, main and snipe. E100, main. Kampfwagen 7, main and snipe. Mouse, main tank. 7201, main tank. And here's your standoffs again with your tank destroyer patch. And we're going to go into the artilleries. And there we go. Spotter, spotter, spotter. Run and gun also. Spotter, run and gun. 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 Main. Spot, run and gun, and snipe. Spot, run and gun, and snipe. Snipe only. Not made for a main wading tank. This one I haven't used a lot. I'm not sure. It does do good as a sniper though. I know that. I've tried it. This one works better as a sniper. Body armor sucks. Not made for being a main wading tank. This is a main tank at its tier. This is a main tank. Long reload time though. Weak side armor. Same tank. Same basic idea and principle. Nomad, not a main tank. Made to stand off and snipe and support. This is a wading main tank. At its tier, it's decent. This is a main tank. Never into my French little BS's. And you get the idea. You can look at the tank and figure out its purpose and design and what it's for. You don't have to be screwed.